Hey, welcome back to the Luminance Guide. This is episode 2, and today we're going to be covering all the legendary quests in Frozen Valley, minus Geraine creation, which is in our last episode, the starter legendary quests. You're probably a little familiar with this area already if you're Luminance flagged, but go ahead and talk to all the NPCs around, and let's hop into it. So first couple quests, actually the fastest route is to go Tutu to Snowy Valley Settlement. So I lived in Japan, so to me it's Toto, but check the pronunciation video, apparently it's just Tutu, so that's what we're going to go with. It's Tutu, brother. So when you enter the cavern, you get a random drop, and I can't really tell you where to go per se. You just want to work your way middle and north, and having your dungeon maps zoomed out a little bit makes a huge difference here. So what I have them set to is like 4.64, I think. Utility belt. Alright, some jumps, and these are also a random pattern. I'm kind of familiar with this one, but if you don't want to do these jumps, you can drop down and fight some defender golem bosses to get through, and it's not that bad. Nice, and some portals up top. Don't take the middle one, go left, left, middle, right. There's a little timer to go through these. Middle. Awesome, then you through the portal maze. Rocks, acid or bludge, I think. Cool, and we're through to the 3 defenders fight. So when you take out these defenders, some of these ads are going to drop, and acid or bludge once again. I'm moving kind of fast for my summon to chase, my bad. Don't have those overpowered wasps. Nice, there's one down. For Primalists, I like using Wisps just because they have that better chase, but for this video, I'm just using my classic Gnats and this one Knight. When you take out the 3 defenders, a portal will spawn. I usually wait a second to make sure I get my summons back so I can summon at the start of the fight. This boss also casts wave spells you don't want to be in the direct line of, but Acid, Peril, Melee D, and Stasis Field, which I'll explain later. Then Acid or Bludge for War Mage, Slash for physical classes. Yeah, sometimes War specifically has different weaknesses, which is weird. One thing you gotta be careful of is if you're Bludge Vuln and if you're in range of him, he can cast a spell called like Shock Bomb, I forgot what it's called, but it will one-shot a lot of characters. So yeah, that's the key to surviving, is to stay dispelled or stay out of range of that spell. It's pretty short range, but if you're like moving in to drop summons, that's where it can get you. Case in point. Invisible Shock Bomb at that range, now I'm on 10 HP. Alright, you should grab a rock, grab a legendary key if you want it. Then I'm going to portal recall the Snowy Valley drop for the next quest. Next, doing geraine study at 82.9 north, 6.4 west. 3 branches to pick up clues and solve a puzzle can be done in any order. I guess intended order would be west first. A lot of casting in this room. Pulling him around the corner isn't a bad idea if you want to make it easier. I'm just going to summon on this dude. Then the Arcane Pyramid from the Jester quest. It's crucial. You can just drop a summon on this frozen white captain through the door. Cool, get that piece of paper, head out. Now you can loot whatever's on the ground in this room before you head to the south wing. Enemies in this dungeon drop a glyph with a symbol on it that is used to solve the puzzle. I would just loot all of them, except the most you'll ever need is 3 of the same type, so don't pick up more than that. Gurog's Prime 2 guy territory, Prime Shroud of Melee territory. They don't debuff and cast as much as the other dudes, so just watch Bludgeon Cold Vuln and you can go to town. In this back hallway, there's another white captain for a key. Alright, so heading east, I tend to just ignore everything and go right up these ramps and summon on the key holder. Didn't need the fireball, and I forgot these dudes have like no HP, but okay. That room's pretty casty as well, I want to be quick about the whole thing. But at this point, I usually get as many glyphs as I need from the west and south wings, and then if I need any more, I'll come back to get them, but grab that third and final clue from the book on the table. Now I'm headed back to the middle. So you got 3 pieces of paper, right side, both sides, left side, they'll have numbers on them. Right side is the number of shelves from left to right, middle is the row on that shelf, and the left side is that individual book. Cool, doors will open toward the boss. There's this little undead mini-boss that a fire vuln and a vulnerability along with a summon will take out quickly. And the doors will be open. Nice, and Geraine, huge tank, one of the tankiest bosses. His melee D is pretty high, so you want to get him fully melee debuffed. Nice, and as an extra touch, I'm going to hit him with Lesser Stasis Field. This is an item I would guess most players were not aware of. I shared the secret sauce with ASD in the last league. But it's negative 20 to all attributes. What it amounts to is essentially like negative 13 to an enemy's melee D that stacks with all creature debuffs, stacks with dirty fighting. So on longer DPS fights like this, where your summon accuracy isn't at 100, it can actually be pretty significant. And to get this item, the Solandoa, you need to do the Uber Gerling quest with your highest stat being life magic in terms of skill cost. Yeah, so I worked out this funky rotation between Void, casting these heal self ones to reset the magic timer, and then doing a couple war blasts. It's solid, but in general, this fight's going to take a while to DPS, because even if you have a physical weapon, he has high armor, he's not going to take that much damage. But if you're physical, you want to go slash AR, so something like the ultimate upgraded singularity weapons. Nice, really just more of the same. I quickly reapplied Stasis Field at one point. I'm also rocking Shroud of Melee, got it to proc a couple times, which is going to give you 20 seconds of 100% accuracy from your summons. Otherwise, what to watch for, just Bludge Vulns, he'll beat the shit out of you, and some Fire Vulns for Demon Tongues. So stay dispelled to those and you'll be good. He really likes attacking summons, so they take a lot of aggro. Grab a key, you can grab this one book off him or any of the books in these side rooms if you're with a group. Next Bloodstone investigation, we're going to be heading back to this Luminance flag spot, and specifically where you fought Battle Lord Gregor to get flagged. Next to him on this desk is a carefully rolled scroll, loot that. So typically what I do is take this portal, type /AH, that's going to start my allegiance recall, and my hometown set to Zykel, which is where we need to go to get this translated. Right, and then you either run back through town network, or if you have the allegiance recall, just portal recall. This is a pretty long run back. What makes the quest longer overall, and probably not worth doing every set of 30 if you have faster options, although it's pretty good loom on its own. And your notes to Donovan here by the cabin. There's a tusker den in Frozen Valley, that we'll get to that in a second. But you can get gems that teleport you back to the cabin and expedite this whole process. Back to where you fought Battle Lord Gregor, this time use this pillar in the upper right of the room. Drop a Simone. Once he's down, jump, loot a book. Yeah, he doesn't have very high melee D, so he'll go down pretty quickly to a summon. Then again, taking the portal to safely allegiance recall. Then we're going to portal recall back and hand the translated notes to Donovan for the last time. Then head to this bunker at 84.5, 5.1 west. Inside it's a pretty maze-like dungeon with no maps, but hugging rights will get you to the bottom. You used to be able to Vuln this with alchemy or a ruined weapon, it would go down faster, but now you'd want to use blood rends, summons, and void debuffs. Just having fun with wall spells. Nice, so when you finally take down the stockpile, the Master Bloodstone is going to spawn. Threw a stasis field in the mix, and then my ward's not going to do that much damage, so I'm going to help out with void. Loot the Master Bloodstone, and door opens up. Then headed to Halt Dericost Ritual, our final legendary quest in Frozen Valley. You can get here through the town network, just showing you if you happen to be out this way in Neftet. It's right here, it's past this tent where the Sisters quest is. Flagging for is pretty long, and you're gonna need lockpicks, so just heads up. When you get here, go west first. So you want to head into the tunnels on either side and use these green triangles. Make sure you get both on each side for a total of 4, and then head to the east. When you drop down, you can fire up the quest. You have this one scale on you. Plenty of time to clear him. And so far, while recording no healing, no melee, the only thing that's been particularly close to killing me was that one shock bomb that was invisible. But yeah, it's gonna ramp up in difficulty with some other stuff I do later. Really not bad though so far, and I think I'll get Turmeric meats for, you know, the stuff that I think I'll need it for. At the end of this long cutscene, enemies will spawn in. I promise. Any minute now. No, I think it's a full 30 seconds from the end of that cutscene. And so yeah, you're gonna get a couple skills. And by casting Turnblade, the attack mod debuff on them, they won't kill my summons, leaving me free to vuln. I'm gonna go with Acid. Cool, so yeah, even without melee D, you can easily thug it out on the lower level, but you don't have to. So yeah, like midway through the quest, if you decide I want to watch some YouTube, this game's easy anyway, what am I doing with my life? Yeah, you can just jump up here. 2 more identical phases, you can vuln those bloodstone shards if your spellcraft's high enough. And here I recommend going full debuffs plus stasis field. So the way summon accuracy works. To hit at full accuracy, you would need to debuff their melee D to about 535, give or take. 540 is like 99%. So if we just take our core creature debuffs, which are vulnerability, coordination, and quickness 8, that's negative 75 to melee D. Trained or specialized dirty fighting can be 10 to 20, bringing it up to 95, and then stasis field can be negative 13, bringing it up to negative 108. But on targets where you can lure blade the item debuff, that's typically better than all of those combined, so that's what you want to go for. So there's a site, and I guess I can link this in the description, but there's like a lookup site that, if you remember the last video, how in Lost Lore I said only to do the item debuff and like you leave the other ones alone, it's because I knew his exact melee D. Yeah, I recommend loot him and get out of here. I'm just gonna use a tusker gem. If you want to kill all the rest of those dudes, you can unlock a treasure room with a legendary key, but you have to kill all the rest of those dudes, which takes quite a while. Cool, so before we wrap up, as promised, there's the Tusker Den, kind of right here in the middle of all the action at 84.3, 6.4. Take the right path from the start and head past the surface to the left. Oh, I didn't one-shot because I lost a little HP. Someone's gonna clean him up though. You get a green text, like an Android user. Alright, let's get out of here. It's Tusker Island. Bright Eyes, hola mi amigo. And like all creature trophies, this shares, so if you're trying to share with a lower level character and get some Luminance yourself, it's a pretty good option. It also gives you these Gregoria's Cabin recall gems, which I'll go ahead and demonstrate. Boom, so yeah, it's just an instant teleport with no animation, and so if you're trying to escape a pretty risky situation, like instead of having this egg on my hotbar, you know, maybe I'd do that. Yeah, that's about it for FV. There's Wardley and the Weiss, there's this laboratory quest, but not being legendary quests, and kind of not being super worth the loom. It's just stuff you can check out in your free time if you're curious. And just a quick update on the schedule for the guide and what that's looking like. So, like May 31st and into June, there's going to be a league in Levistras. I'm also in the middle of a major project and probably going to be traveling in June. So as far as like more core episodes to the leveling guide, I might be able to do one more, or like may have to pick it up in July when the league is done. Could be a couple of shorter videos that are like build related, that are, you know, more general tips, but thinking of stuff like that. As far as actually playing in the league, it's looking like I'm gonna have to pass on it as much as I would love to play, and you know, I'm sure some of you guys would like to see that. I'll know for sure in a few days, but just kind of huge things happening with music and my personal life, which is it's exciting. But no, we'll focus and get it done. Try to finish this guide sometime in July or August. Maybe have a couple smaller videos in between, but yeah. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and most importantly, have an awesome rest of your day.